Good evening, Nevio, and welcome to a video where I rank the bosses of Mortal Shell 2. I just finished playing the game. Great game, by the way. I expected more from it, but it is what it is. Let's begin with the Blood-Cursed Lifeapod. Before I start, I just want you to know that these are exactly as I felt with the boss of this game. You're probably not going to see a lot of them in S tier or A tier or B tier. Most of them are B and below, especially in Kill It With Fire. So let's begin. The Blood-Cursed Lifeapod. The Blood-Cursed Lifeapod is just one of those rock spiders that you fight pretty much all over the map. It serves zero purpose at all, really. The only reason kill it is to open the gate in the Citadel of Penance. As for its ranking, it could be worse. And now, onto Bor, the Deluded Monarch. I'm not even gonna say it. It's just one of those big heads that you fight in some dungeons. And they are boring as fuck and annoying as shit. Not much to say, really. Broodshell Swarm. F tier. I do not like bosses, or at least I don't like groups of enemies that are categorized as a boss. Like, genuinely. They make zero fucking sense whatsoever. Now, onto a boss that actually deserves to be anywhere higher than these three. The Gauged Grisha, which I think was a pretty good boss. It is basically every other Grisha in the game, with the added bonus that it has a cage on its head and it does a little bit of frost build up and frost damage. Otherwise, it's literally just every other Grisha in the game. Circle of Grasping Root, same as the Broodshell Swarm. I'm not even gonna say anything about it beyond that. Choncc the Conqueror, he's better than Grisha. B tier because he's better than Grisha. Choncc the Conqueror actually does a pretty good job at being a relatively hard boss. What I mean by that is that he hits hard and a lot. He hits hard and much. His design is great. His theme is also pretty good. Otherwise, he just falls off as just another brute to fight, really. But still, he's not bad. Could have been better, but he's not bad. Gloombound Legion. F tier. Just a lot of guys at once. That's literally it. Onto the Gloombound Wraith. E tier. It is just any other Wraith in the game. He has no posture, so that means he just gets staggered immediately. And the only thing that makes this boss better than Bor is the arena. Because the books that fly at you actually make the boss feel like you're doing something besides just hitting a goddamn dummy. Great Arbiter of Flesh. He's alright. He's alright. He ended me a lot when I first started the game. He killed me in 1 to 2 hits. And I kid you not, the only reason I managed to beat him is because he threw me off a ledge and joined me. Otherwise, pretty cool design, I gotta say. Pretty cool design. Really good looking. The sword also really good looking. Grisha. Just any Grisha. It's worse than the Blood-Cursed Lifeapod. Honestly. I do not think that Grisha is a good boss. It's a cool elite, don't get me wrong, but as a boss, I think the Caged Grisha should be the only one that should be defined as a boss. Otherwise, just a glorified elite enemy. The Gloombound Ritualist. This is the first boss you fight in the game, and he spawns exploding enemies. Yeah, you are probably the best of Kill It With Fire, because I would literally kill you with fire because you are a tree wielding fire. The Hexapod. I hate this boss. Matter of fact, I wanted to just kill it with fire. Honestly. The tentacles are very hard to see when they're gonna attack you and when to parry them. The same goes for a lot of other bosses, but we're gonna get to that later on. The Infested Miner. This guy was actually pretty cool. I'm not even gonna lie. the rocks falling onto your head when he hits. Pretty cool. He died too soon though. Lucian the Thirsting Knight now. This fucking animal is better than the Arbitrator. The Arbitrator. The Arbiter actually, my bad. He is basically just one of those enemies that you meet a little bit later into the game. In the first phase at least. In the second phase he becomes one of those little ghouls that just jumps at you and kills you in pretty much 1 to 2 hits. I want to make it very, very clear that I was playing with Teal, the Thief, so it might contribute to the amount of damage I was taking from this fucking animal, to be fair. But yeah, otherwise he is better than the Arbiter Flesh. Pretty cool boss. Very small arenas, by the way, I gotta fucking give it to you. Those were fucking minuscule. I have seen things that are small be bigger than his goddamn arena. Regardless, he stays in C tier. Magdalena, the Lady of the Woods. Now this bitch... its top of could be worse. For now. She is just a fat lady in a wheelchair who shoots at you. She is one of those American women, American fat black women in a wheelchair. I'm just gonna put a fucking image on the screen of what I mean. I hope you understand. I'm not trying to be rude, but literally what I mean. She is top of D tier for now. On to Malborn Offspring. This guy, pretty good boss. He looks very cool, even though you already meet one of him. Well, he's dead. He's a corpse, and he is the corpse right next to Eredrim, making it look like he died fighting it. Which, yeah, pretty cool. I could be way worse, but pretty cool. The Nameless Captive. Also really good. You are not as good as Malborn. Nameless Captive. Literally just a guy with a sword for a head. I just love the arena. I love the feel, the vibe of the area. And the boss actually looks pretty cool. To be honest, I think he could be better. He could have been much better, but yeah. Also, I just really love the attack where he just spins around. Beside that, I also really love the riposte once he breaks. You just grab him by the hilt of the sword. Actually, no, not the hilt, the tip of the sword. And you just slam it into his balls. And then you grab the hilt and you just go into his balls with it. That is the most brutal way I have seen a game try to kill an enemy. Also, we're not gonna be away from balls this fucking video. We're gonna be all over them. Not necessarily all over them, but we are going to talk about a lot of balls. Orim the Reclaimed. Now, this guy is essentially the tutorial boss, but with a little bit of things added. For example, he now deals bleeding as well. He does Blood Curse. He applies Blood Curse, actually. Blood Curse, if you didn't know, is essentially the way bleed works in Elden Ring, where the more there is, the more damage it deals. Or at least it just bursts. He used to kill me in 1 fucking hit with just that. Again, I want to remind you that I was playing with Steel. 1 wrong move and I was dead immediately. Now, to be honest, I'm not gonna get pissy about getting one-shot by a boss. He was pretty good. The second phase, though, I would have preferred it if it was just the second phase, to be honest. Either the first phase alone with some changes in the moveset, or just the second phase. I would have been fine if you just mixed both phases into just one. It would have been really cool. But Orim deserves a spot in B tier. The Prophet of Profane Infinities. I don't even remember killing him. And I've been around the entire map. Genuinely. I do not know where the fuck he is. I don't remember where he is. Now, given the fact that he's a Prophet enemy, he's just one of those big guys with the hammer. Bottom D. Again, it's just a basic enemy with more health and damage. That's pretty much it. The Rabbit Grishas. Kill it with fire. It's better than a Hexapod, yeah. Rabbit Grishas are better than a Hexapod. These two are found in the well in the village right next to the mushroom village, the small hamlet, by dropping into a well. The run back to these two is horrendous if you're not playing with Teal, in my opinion. There are bear traps in the way, and there are enemies that can really just take half of your health before they let you at the boss. It was just fucking annoying to go at these guys. And what do you get? A goddamn Grisha remnant. You just get a Grisha remnant. Or two, I forgot. I kill these things rather fucking quickly. They're in F tier. I want them to die with fire. Sariel the Endless. Now this guy, he died fucking immediately. To be fair, I killed him in probably 30 seconds. Pretty cool boss visually, but he is top of E. Top of E tier. He is not that fun to fight. He is just boring. He dies immediately. There is no time to fight, and then the only reason he would go higher in terms of difficulty is if you didn't know that you had to break those little monoliths or these little rocks in a circle in the arena so that they can stop him from reappearing. Now onto Servants of the Scholar Prince. Could be worse. It's probably better than Grisha. Come on, there we go. It's better than Grisha. I know I said that I just hate these kind of fights where you just fight plenty of them at once, but this one is not that bad, to be fair. It's just a few enemies that by the time you get there, you're strong enough to probably want to two-hit most of them. So they just die very quickly. They're still better than Grisha as a boss. Sesta Secundus. This is just Sister Janessa as a boss, which she's not that bad to fight, really. She is most likely better than Lucian. She almost killed me the first time I went there, but to be fair, I had 2 to 3 heals, if I remember correctly, and I was just spamming Teal's ability. And she died pretty fucking quickly. Anyway, onto Sir Isaac, the Scholar Prince. He's an A tier. He is not as good as Nameless, to be fair. He has a really cool intro. I love the Hollow Knight aesthetic of the boss, where he's just a bug with a shield and sword, and then after you break the shield, he just pulls out 3 more swords out of his ass, 2 more swords out of his ass. I did not state a count and just, oh no, he has more weapons. Kill him. That's exactly what I did, to be fair. Killed him immediately, as he deserves. Onto Solnir, the Gloom Seeker. You are better than Grisha. Cage Grisha. Solnir is just like Lucian, in case you couldn't notice the same stance. What do I like about Solnir is the fact that in his arena, I suppose it's a guy, are 2 flames that if you do not extinguish them, the boss is essentially pretty much immune to all damage completely. Like you cannot damage it. So you have to break the flames. You have to extinguish the flames. Overall, the fight is pretty decent. The enemy itself has a pretty cool design and a pretty cool moveset. The Starved Haridan. Haridan. It's bottom E. Half the fight I spent cowering behind a wall because the bleed on its fucking claws just took 90% of my health, and I just had to sit behind a goddamn rock to heal with mushrooms after I've already exhausted all of my goddamn healing. I have nothing else to say about it. It's just a bird. The Subjugated Guardian. You are worse than the Hexapod, to be honest. The Subjugated Guardian is the boss at the end of I do not remember what fucking dungeon or beacon, where you have to fight a lot of those ballista head enemies at once. It's not that bad, but it's also not that good. It's just a lot of ballista heads in corners of a room with one in the middle that does a fuckload of damage. Otherwise, it's just the same ballista heads. The Targolem. The Tower Golem is the tutorial boss. He gets B tier. He's better than Orim, even though they're the same fucking guy, for the sole factor that it teaches you a little bit more about the game. It teaches you about the unblockable attacks or unparryable attacks, which, yeah, as long as the boss teaches you something, it's better than the boss that just killed you in 1-2 hits, you know? Overall, pretty cool enemy, pretty cool boss. Too bad that you cannot kill it in the tutorial to keep Haros. His ability was fucking chef's kiss of an ability of just hardening everybody around you. Cool ability, but unfortunately he was too strong, so he had to be killed. The Tar Blighted Stoner. Base name, he is better than the Bloodcurse Life Apart and worse than the Infested Miner. It took me, I think, 5 tries before I realized that when he throws those rocks, and if they don't hit you and they hit the floor, they spawn enemies. It took me 5 tries to realize that I was fighting him wrong. Overall, I hope it dies. Not with fire, because fire is too merciful. I hope he dies buried in Lego without any weed. The Tarred Vestige, same as Starblighting Stoner. Just another elite enemy that just gets turned into a boss. The Lost Child is in A tier, bottom A tier, forever, I don't care. The music of the boss fight, the boss's theme, is really good, honestly. It's really good. The boss itself, a grotesque, oversized blood baby, because that's what I call these little enemies that you just see in the cavern area, is actually pretty cool. I love the attack when he just turns around and farts on you. To be honest, I just really like that. It just tells me that the developers really liked what they were doing here, honestly. The Monolith. To be honest, I got my ass kicked by this thing way too much, but to be fair, it's also just better than Orim. I fought this thing after Orim. Now, the Monolith. The Monolith is literally just a wall with balls. I'm not kidding. If you have yet to get to this boss, and you do not believe me, you will believe me once you fight it. Because one of his attacks is literally him swinging his ball sack in your face. He just swings it and then slams it on top of you. I do not hate that. To be fair, it could have been a much better boss, but I also just really love the attack when he just shoots beams at you. Especially in the third phase, when he just does that attack, when it just shoots beams all over the place and you have to jump into them, so they jump through them so that you don't take damage, and it speeds up. Really cool boss, really cool move. I still hate the fact that I got killed by his balls so many times. Otherwise, decent boss. The Warden, it could be worse. He's better than... come on. Prophet. He's better than the Prophet. He is one of those elite knights that now has fire damage, which he killed me with that fire plenty of times. I gotta say that I do not like the fight that much, not because the boss itself is bad, but because of the arena, the horrendous fucking arena. It is way too small to run away from this thing, considering the fact that most of its attacks are unblockable. Not to mention those fucking ovas, I suppose they are, those corrupted eggs that just sit in the back of the arena. If you go through them, or if you go at them, you get stuck into them. If he goes onto them, he jumps into the air. I've had a moment where he jumped onto one and jumped out of the arena. I had to wait for him to come on the other side of the gate that should open after you kill him, and just hit him through the fucking gate. I just hated that moment so much. That is the way I killed him, because I could not get out of the arena. I would have left the arena and fought him normally, but to be honest, I was 1, too lazy, and 2, I did not want to. I just could not. Now on to Tishina. I'm Tishina's Confessor. For the first time that you meet this enemy, amazingly cool. The choreography of the fight, smooth. The arena, smooth. The damage, I would kill you with fire if you weren't so cool. An enemy that just hit you 2 fucking times and you are back at the beacon is essentially what Tishina's Confessor is. At least was to me. Onto the twin sisters, which they're not twin sisters, there's 3 of them. There's 3 of them! After I killed the first 2, I thought, oh, that's it. And then the third one appeared. Overall, I killed them in 1 try, but still, you're worse than the Prophet. Just 2 enemies that jump you, and after you kill them, there's a third, who is just Tishina's Confessor again. Now onto Uri the Executioner, which, again, I do not remember him. I just do not remember him. He is most likely worse than Sariel. I just do not remember him. Valen, High Lord of Mammon, bottom of alright, bottom of C. He is literally just Tishina's Confessor, again. Now I want you to just know something really cool. If you drag one of the big fat roly-poly guys from like before the boss and get him into the arena, you can have him permanently stun-locked by one of his men. And I'm not even gonna fucking lie to you, I made it my mission, after I realized that, to just make one of his own men kill him. It was one of the best things to watch. Especially with Teal, when I just hide behind the enemy as the big fat guy is rolling, move out the way, hit the guy, get my resolve back, and rinse and repeat. It was one of the best moments in this game for me. The Vile Tongue Batushka. Burn it. Honestly, just burn it. I have literally nothing to say about it, just burn it. Vragos, Holy Car Champion. Now this guy, you are better than Ori, my guy. You are better than Ori. Vrago is the guy with the wheel that just hits you with it relentlessly. He's the guy right before the gate in the Citadel, or past the Citadel in the Ruins of Noct. Pretty cool boss, really cool design. You do not find another one of these. To be honest, you do not find another one of these. He is unique. He's a unique enemy that does not get reused ever. Or at least I just did not notice him getting reused. Vronic the Grand Illusionist is the boss in the beacon before the gate in Mushroom Village, if I'm not mistaken. He's better than Boar. He's worse than Boar, my bad. He is worse than Boar. Vronic is essentially the Sage from Dark Souls 3. Once you break him, he summons illusions of himself, and that's pretty much all of it. And then he gets reused throughout the game, or at least throughout Gloomhaven. The Wandering Shepherd, fucking S tier. This is my only S tier, by the way. I want you to know that this guy is gonna be my only S tier because Zemi over there is gonna get another treatment. What I like about the Wandering Shepherd is mostly the theme. The fucking theme of him. I love the idea of fighting the sheep to break his posture, to then break him, to repulse him I mean, and then rinse and repeat. And once he hits a certain threshold on his health, he just turns into a black sheep. Really cool design, I gotta say, in a really cool area. He is the boss right before Magdalena. And the reveal that he was a sheep all along, even better. It's the cherry on top of the cake. For me at least. I really like him. And you get one of the coolest fucking items in the game from just beating him. The sheep head totem. Which, guess what? Turns into a sheep. Voila. Just big game design. I love it. As made the unbidden. He could be worse, to be honest. I really dislike the fact that he is so big, because every single fight I had with him was me going under him and him spamming the fucking leg stomp over and over and over again, and I just got fucking sick of it. Before I even got to him, he just fucking does that tail attack, which is near instant. And if you are not prepared for that attack whatsoever, it hits you instantly. And if you're playing as Steel, which was what I was doing, you get killed instantly. Unless you're full health. If you're full health, you get turned back into Lavender. Otherwise, yeah. The second phase is where he actually shines. Is what I would say if he would change his fucking moveset. The only thing that changes is the damage he does. He starts that attack where it just waves of fire on waves of fire on waves of fire, which actually are really cool to dodge, especially if you're like really close to him. On the other side though, he hits like a truck, has this lot of health. Like, I found myself just having dealt over 15,000 damage before the mandatory break of his posture, where guess what, the riposte is you, the player, stabbing him in the fucking balls again. This is the third boss in which I have mentioned the word balls. Yeah, overall, this is the tier list. This is my tier list. If you've got things to say about it, tell me in the comments. If you want to debate on any placements around here, debate me in the comments. Otherwise, I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you did, like the video, subscribe if you want to see more. I'm probably gonna do a tier list on other bosses, on other games, for example Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Sekiro even. I've played these games before. Just let me know. Have a good day, a good evening, and goodbye.